Hello friends, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls. I don't know where it is that you're tuned on to the Life Signatures podcast, but I'm excited to know that you are listening. And if this podcast, this episode makes sense to you in any way, guess what? It also means that it can make sense to somebody else who is within your vicinity, within your circles. It doesn't hurt just to share with them, send them on their WhatsApp, send them on your group, whatever it is, and let people listen to this. We are in the middle of a series, and on this podcast we're always talking about purpose, productivity, and resilience, and we are in the middle of a series where we're talking about the 19 powerful life nuggets from the interview that Mike Tyson had with Joe Rogan. I've been at it for more than, 8 episodes now. And now we're going to do the other nuggets today, and I'm sure you want to listen to this, so stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
I'll do a recap for you, just very fast, do a recap for you so that you can be able to get to know where we have come from. But I'll tell you this. I will tell you that you will need to go back really and listen for yourself these nuggets one by one, because they are all powerful. Number one, if you wanted to learn from Mike Tyson, number one, internal fear can be unfounded. Number two, appreciate the power of starting small. Number three, the importance of your people, your inner circle. Number four, be alert to recognize the moment to confront your conditioning. Number five, allow the pull of life to respond to your push. Number six, there is a difference between conditioning and being in shape. Number seven, impossible is nothing to someone that tries. Yesterday, number eight, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Nugget number 9 today. Find something that you can do, but not for money. Huh? This is Mike Tyson. And someone will say, but Mike, you got millions and so on and so forth. It's easy for you to say that. But Mike Tyson said, find something that you can do, but not for money. I don't know what he was talking about here, but let's just analyze it. He had to say this finally. After years, this is Mike Tyson at the age of 54. After years upon years dealing with money problems, and also dealing with money itself. This man has been used as an example by very many motivational speakers on how not to spend money. I mean, personal financial consultants use the story of Mike Tyson to show how it is imprudent to be a spendthrift. Anyway, we are told, and I think I've told you this, for example, that Tyson loved Rolls-Royce, but he also loved his suits. The problem is that every time he bought a suit, he wanted a corresponding color of a Rolls-Royce, and he got it. But listen to Mike Tyson speak today about money. You learn something that is important. See, Someone who has already gone through something, and when they come out and they tell you something, they're telling you from experience. Young people, when an adult is giving you advice about relationships and marriage, you're like, he knows nothing, she knows nothing. He will tell you something like, don't go for looks, go for the heart. Marry someone who has a good heart, who is respectful. For you, you'll say, man, I need a chick. And probably at that moment in time, it's legitimate. You're looking for the curves, the juices, and so on. And you go in there, probably to work for you, probably not. 20 years down the line, and you're like, yeah, they were right. So when Tyson is talking about money, and he's telling us, find something that you can do, but not for money, he is not saying this out of theory. He is saying this out of experience. He had millions. He could get $1 million within seconds, beating someone for 29 seconds, and he's paid millions, 30 million US dollars actually. Back then in the 80s, I kid you not, in the 90s and so on. So when he says something about money, we need to take note. It immediately reminds me of what Steve Jobs said about the same thing. Again, Steve Jobs had the money. He said, I don't think that money is the most enlightened thing that has ever happened to me. So what matters? One might ask. This means that there is something greater in life, that cash cannot be that important. There is something greater than cash that is much more important in life. And it seems to me that what Tyson was saying was that the earlier you find that thing that you cannot do for money, the better. The earlier you dedicate your efforts to that which is not for money, for profit, the much better for you. You know what he was talking about here? He was talking about impact. Today we see organizations, and I've been reading literature, a lot of literature about purpose and profit and so on. They are actually saying that organizations that champion purpose over profit end up becoming much more profitable than those ones who just go for profit. So Tyson was telling us here, the earlier you find something that you can do, but not for money, the better. In other words, something that does not necessarily contribute to you getting money, but something that actually does the opposite, contributes to you maybe spending money to create an impact, right? To make a contribution in this world. Tyson says that he finds lots of fulfillment in not chasing after money. This is at 54 years of age, after having all the money. And he finds fulfillment in doing the opposite. That instead of chasing after money, he is finding avenues to give it away. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. I mean, it's a serious point to make right now. You see, at the end of the day, the spear of life, the tip of the spear of life is not about getting. It is about giving. We came to give. We came to fill this world with our goodness, our talents, our abilities, our contribution. Put a smile on someone's face. Make someone's day better. Make this world a better place, like Michael Jackson sing. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me. You know, if we care enough for the living, that's just the point of life. You see, the problem with us is that we do the opposite. We find that now when we are 70, that's when we create the Lawrence Namale Foundation or the Life Signatures Foundation. At 70, because I have spent all my money, or I spent all my life, now I want to give back to society. Giving back to society should be something that we do. I see my daughter, every time there is someone in the vicinity that has a birthday, she must get them a gift. Maybe a teacher or a classmate or a churchmate or neighbor. It's basically coming from a young age. That's what life is all about. It's making finding something to do that, but not for money, not for your own personal gain, but living a life in such a way that we are basically being a blessing to this world. That's the way that life is, and that's where we find fulfillment. So Tyson says he's finding a lot of fulfillment not in chasing after money. He finds fulfillment in doing the opposite, that instead of chasing the money, he is finding different avenues on how to give it away. And that's why with his fight with Roy Jones Jr., he said that all the proceeds were going to go, and they actually did go, to charity. Doing it for myself doesn't do it anymore. It is a soul cleansing to do it this way, fighting for a greater cause than earning a buck. That's Mike Tyson. Do it for others. But the lesson that he left us with, he said, find something that you can do, but not for money. I hope this makes sense to you, even as it makes sense to me. Tomorrow we will continue talking about this and look at another nugget, which I am sure it is something that you will want to listen to. But until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.